Good morning. Today is Sunday, March the 3rd, and I am on my way to church. I missed Tuesday's talk time, but today's conversation definitely is going to be right on time. So first of all, thank you to everyone who has purchased from Cake Jars Couture. I did a cake jar craze Saturday on yesterday, and excitedly I sold out. So thank you to everyone who pre-ordered and those who purchased. So again, I thank you for that. Thank you again to those who continue to purchase the journals, the guided journals. Anything you do for me, it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated. I was listening to a podcast the other day, like I do so many days, and it basically just reminded us that there are people that are going to always support you, and then there are people that will never support you, meaning, some people won't attend my events. Some people have never attended my events, and that's okay. And so the podcaster went on to say that the having support or the lack of both of them push you to be your very best self. You either push yourself to prove people wrong, or you push yourself to prove people right. Either way, there's no right or wrong way. Just make sure that you're pushing, that you're pushing yourself and you're motivating yourself. So whatever a person uses as their motivation, that is what you do. And so for me, I like to push myself on the motivation that there are people depending on what God has given me in order to move forward or get unstuck per se, and to move forward in their destiny. So I definitely understand what my assignment is, and everybody's assignment is different. It is not a conference call. So that brings me to my topic today. Is just a really quick. I just wanted to remind you guys to always believe in God's timing. This past week there was so much going on, and the praise report is that I got a new job. Well, I didn't get a new job. I got a new job last year. Let me start there. And when you hear people say you got a job that you didn't apply for, I truly did not apply for this promotion because I didn't think that I was ready to move forward. I had already got a promotion last year, and so I was doing a new job, and it was strictly with the state of Florida, workers' comp, still in the same realm, but it was new for me. I won't even say that it was easy. It was a lot to learn, and I still feel like I'm learning so much. Long story short, the manager called and was like, hey, your name came up in a conversation yesterday. What are your plans here? And so first thing I thought was, what do you mean, what are my plans? My plans are to stay here, do a good job, get paid, whatever. Well, her whole conversation about that was, we want you to think about considering doing being a legal adjuster, which is another role in the same company, but a step up higher. And when she called me on Friday, so I did the interview. Needless to say, the day that I did the interview, I was rushing. I had to get Ivy from school, or my daughter went and got Ivy from school. It was a lot. I forgot to put on my jacket for the interview, and my boss, actually, part of my feedback was when I got to work the next week, because I had been going in on Thursdays, and I got to work the next week. The feedback was, she said you redeemed yourself, and we kind of laughed, and I was like, what do you mean? She was like, well, I told them that when you come to work, you're dressed. She's like, so I wasn't sure why you showed up on the interview with a sleeveless dress on. Y'all, I forgot to put my jacket on that was on the back of my chair the day of the interview. And so the feedback I got was that I have to be ready, because now my job includes me dealing a lot more with lawyers and judges, as dealing, from a legal perspective. So it's like I took it up a notch. And I'm like, listen, I always got my Zoom sweater. This particular day I had on a dress, much like I always wear, and I had a jacket, but I didn't have it on. So anyways, she gave me, that whole little, you look so pretty, and this is how, if you had a deposition or a mediation, like, this is how you would show up. And I was like, of course. She's like, yeah, I told them that. So we went back. She said, I'll go back and check the box. So I said all that to say, when she called me on Friday, and needless to say, she asked me how I felt. I told her that I felt like after the interview, I felt like I was under a spiritual attack. And I felt like, I said, if I could be totally honest, I felt like I was under a spiritual attack. I felt like if something could go wrong in my life, that it did. And I said that I had to snap out of my own way and say, hey, guess what? We're not giving up. We're going to fight harder. Whatever this is, we're going to trust God is going to bring it to pass. I said, we changed. In the meantime, our company moved to a new platform. The computer systems was down for 3 days. So all of the strides I had made and making sure that my workload was clean went totally out the window. And if you do adjusting or you do claims, you know that, a day off unplanned is like, a hard time. But 3 days unplanned is like a disaster waiting to happen. And so now, because I deal with the state of Florida, we get fined for things that are not done timely. And I just didn't want to do that because that's a part of learning the job. Well, anyways, needless to say, she offered me the job with the terms that I wanted. But I guess my thing with that was that was on Friday afternoon, and I had been going through, like, for the last 2 weeks, honestly, and things had gotten to the point where I was just like, you know what, God, if you think I'm this strong, then just give me the strength to carry me through it. I'm not asking you to move no mountains. I just want you to ask me to get over them and help me get to the other side. Help me see the glory in what you have. And so when Friday afternoon, when I got the call and, all of that, I literally, like, it was like a sigh of relief. And so she asked me, why did I feel restricted in talking to her about God? And I said, because sometimes people don't take it the right way. People want you to be a holy roller, or people don't, sometimes people don't receive it. I mean, it's the workplace. It was a job interview, and it was my manager's manager calling me. And so I said that to say that God's timing is better than our timing. And when we feel like people, it is not our job to discern whether or not people believe in God. It is our job to spread the true word. The true word is that I did feel like I was under spiritual attack. I felt like I was being attacked from every end. But I also know that the grace of God is sufficient, and his mercy definitely carried me through. So when I said last week that God carried me through, like, literally he carried me through. So I just want to encourage you, don't give up. There is joy on the other side. And when you feel like you're under attack, you probably are, and that is your chance to get in your word and fight back. That is the only way that you will win. So again, I encourage you to just keep going. Pick your head up. Better days are definitely on the way. And all those things that we thought bothered us last week, they no longer matter. I hope I encouraged someone. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.